Hello there and good day. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat and you're watching my Wakefield Marsh long play, I suppose we could call it. Today we are going to be working on a few different parts of our Going Medieval Let's Play. We are going to be working on the first sort of actual build that we've done. Because so far we've only really done some minor little buildings just to kind of keep us going. But today we're going to finally get to work with our clay bricks and we're going to be fancying up the place a little bit. As you can see, we're doing some like little fences here. Just to make sure everything looks really cute, and because what's the point of playing if you're not gonna at least try and make things a little cute, you know? So while we were working on our cute little gardeny area right now, there's something I've wanted to do with YouTube and with gaming in general, with a specific game, for absolute years. I have been wanting to make my own Sims 4 save file. I can't even tell you how long I've wanted to. Probably almost the length of time the game has been out. Because every time you open that game, every single time, you're opening it to the same bullshit over and over and over. And a lot of the builds, like especially in the beginner areas like Willow Creek and Oasis Springs, they're very boring. Like, the builds were clearly made in a rush by the Sims team, and just as we have come out with, like, as time has progressed with the Sims games, I think we've all realized, like, they're actually trying with the builds in the newer packs, but with the older stuff, they simply could not give a damn. So, I am redoing the whole Sims 4 world because hyperfixation. Okay, that's essentially it. Just hyperfixation. So that is going to be something to look forward to. It's something I've wanted to do for years, and I finally started working on it recently. I am honestly almost done Willow Creek already. So I will be moving on to Oasis Springs, and I will be keeping everything base game in the first two worlds, except for some exceptions, like I made a diner in Willow Creek. That, for example, is not base game because it has dine out, because that's the only way you can get a restaurant in the game. So I only use base game and dine out though. I am trying accessible for the most amount of people, so I'm going to be trying to use base game as much as possible in the initial worlds before expanding into the other packs as we go. So that is just my little advertisement at the beginning of this video, so I can tell you a little bit about what else I am working on right now. I know you may not be into The Sims 4, even if you're into Going Medieval and vice versa, but you're on my channel. You don't have to watch it if you don't like it. So, but if you do like it and you do want to check it out, I greatly appreciate that. Alright, so back to Going Medieval. Sorry for the tangent. I just really had to let you guys know what I was working on, because it is my new hyperfixation. Okay, so right now we finished our garden. We are now going to be building a bridge. I was mentioning in the last video that we are going to be connecting these two little land masses, and this is when we finally do that. However, there are still stairs up there, but I do end up breaking those eventually. So that is to expand our little territory. I'm not entirely sure what I want to build over there yet. I actually wanted to kind of leave that open for discussion. So if you have any ideas of what you think I should build on that kind of little landmass, do let me know, because we're having the majority of our just main builds are going to be on the main island, but I do want to do some stuff on the other island. And yes, I'm checking out the animals again because they're so cute. I love the little mallards. I think they are the most adorable little duckies in the whole world. I love our just absolute clay pit. Like, we just have a clay pit next to our home. But you know what? We move. It's fine. It won't turn into like a soggy swamp pit at any point. It certainly won't. If you know anything about the game, yeah, it certainly will. But it's fine. We move. So here we have our bridge is finally in. It is just a teensy little bridge. Like, it is nothing special. Eventually, we will make some sort of fancy bridge, I'm sure. But for now, we just wanted a quick back and forth route so the settlers don't have to go down onto like into the marsh every time they want to go up there. So this just saves us some pathing time mostly. And keeping up with the garden, I really like to set some individual just plots, like individual fields. I like to set them as going to seed. So then that way you constantly have like an influx of seeds coming into you and you don't usually run out. I have noticed you can run out usually with cabbage, sometimes carrots. They just seem to produce a lot less seeds or like a lot less quickly than the beets. So the beets never have a problem. I always have way too many beet seeds, but cabbage and carrots, they do track a little bit less. So it is a good idea to keep an eye on those because you may need some extra seed fields. Going back to working on the building, we are upgrading our research. We're adding in our cartography table because I figured we're going to need metal sooner rather than later. So we're going to want to actually go to other settlements. Whereas, like, we do have merchants that come to us, of course, but they're so few and far between. I would much prefer to have a income of metal that we can get from somewhere local. So that is what we did there. Oh my god, and this is when I realized Adrian is almost dead. Death's door. This man is inches from death. Like, he barely killed this fox in time. And keep in mind, this is our best, I think this is our best marksman at this point. Like, these settlers, you can't leave them alone for 2 minutes. I'll leave you alone for 2 minutes, and suddenly you're at death's door. Like, and this is the save where I'm not going to, like, reload at any point. If a settler dies, they die. But I usually in my own private games, I might do that because I'm a little sneak. But, like, when I'm playing with here, where I just want to make it as, like, give us as many difficulties as possible because this game is already pretty easy for me. But anyway, so Adrian's alive, shockingly. He got healed by tears, so we're all good. That is the first near-death experience we have had in this long play. However, it will certainly not be the last. I think we see right down there at the corner, I finally was starting to remove the stairs up to our secondary landmass. And now we're making sure Adrian gets healed because he is a danger to himself. Yeah, giving him a full day of leisure. Like, please go heal yourself. Go convalesce. Don't try and do shit. Go heal. The settlers really like to almost get themselves murdered, I have noticed. They really, really like to do that. Especially if they're hunters. So you really need to micromanage them sometimes away from their certain demise. Which we will probably occasionally struggle with, but we move. We're readjusting some of our priority lists here. I often forget to adjust these when a new person comes in. So now we are making sure Ismana is, doing her jobs, the job she is good at. Because if we don't give her job she is good at, she'll try and do anything and everything, and she'll do anything and everything possibly badly. So we do not want that happening at all. This is officially the third time I'm redoing the audio from this point onward. My PC has seemed to just be giving up on life today. So I'm very sorry if I sound much less enthused than the last 10 minutes of the video. But this is the third time I've had to do this part of the video, so it's getting a little wee bit frustrating. Let's hope it actually works this time and doesn't crash my PC again, because it's a fucking nuisance. Anywho's what we were working on there is we were just making sure our Ismana, our new person, had some equipment. We were making sure our 2 melee people had armor and helmets, because they're the melee people, and my archers, we don't really have enough armor for them yet, and considering they're in less danger, they don't get any yet. But don't worry, they will eventually. But we don't really have the material for them yet, and we have not had enough raids to have enough armor to go around. But we'll get there. Don't worry. Alright, so what we're doing now is we are finally, this is the third time I've talked about this in the last, hour. But we are finally going to be working on our brand new building. Our first building that is actually, nice looking, I should say. It is our first actual building, our first structure. We're going to be building out of clay brick, which, as I've mentioned before, is not something I've done much before. I have been a stone brick girly really since I started playing Going Medieval. Mostly because there's not as much clay deposits on the hillside and mountain maps, which are usually my favorite. And it's not something I end up using a lot. I'll use it for special floors, but I don't usually end up using it for just the whole. I've never used it for the whole structure before, I don't think. So we're going to be doing that today. It's so exciting. We're building the front of the building. I wanted it to be a little bit grand, but not too obnoxious, but this will probably be our biggest building, which it is. It is way bigger than I meant to build it. I'm not gonna lie. It is at least twice the size of what I meant to do, but we move. So it is going to be our big communal building. It is going to house our great hall. It is going to house our kitchen. It will probably have our fermenting stations until we decide if we want to move those elsewhere. But I always leave fermenting with my cooking when I start, until I have enough buildings to kind of be picky about things. But we're going to be working on that throughout part of this video. It is definitely not going to be done by the end of the video, because it is, again, way bigger than I meant to make it. So we did not have even near enough clay bricks to be starting this. But I still did it anyway, because I am a scamp and I wanted to start it. I really should have probably built a bedroom and stuff first for our settlers, but I honestly just kind of like to let the settlers do their own thing and just kind of vibe at first, and just give them the absolute bare minimum so they can be putting all the time I want them to be putting into the building. I'm a bit of a dictator, but it's fine. We move. Don't worry about it. While our settlers are moving about here and we're getting some production going, I am now recording this audio in pieces so that if my computer crashes, it will still save the last clip I did, instead of trying to voice over an hour-long video in one go, which is kind of what I did the first time. But again, we move. My PC is just not having it today. It's going to the PC shop next week. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so we're adding some more clay brick stations. This is when my clay brick making spot really starts to pop off. We're really starting to get a little obnoxious in the amount of clay brick making little furnace things we have going now. But as you can see, we really need it because we have already run out of clay bricks. I think we had only made about 1,000, and I just wanted to get it started, I just wanted to start it And we really, really shouldn't have started without having more clay bricks made. But I just like things to look nice. And so I'm going to just kind of do whatever I want. And it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh my goodness. So we're working on the front face of the building right now. As I said, I wanted it to be like kind of grand. I wanted to test out, like play with a little bit of different building than I've done before. Like usually I don't put windows so close to doors, but like I've seen some builds lately in the Going Medieval Discord that made it look really nice to have the doors right next to the windows. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna try that in here, and it actually, I think it looks pretty nice. We are working on as you noticed, actually, I did not put a backside on this building yet. The building's backside does not come for a long time, and that is because I wasn't sure how long I wanted to make the building. So what I ended up doing was just not working on the back of the building for the longest time, and instead I laid out the interior. So as you can see, I'm laying out the interior of the pillars because you really need to make sure your structures are sound when you're building a big structure, especially if I want it to be like 4 floors or something. We need to have the structural integrity to do that. Like, this is not Minecraft. You can't just do whatever and one block will hold up an entire structure. But I like that because it is more difficult and I like the challenge. And I also think like all like the little pillars and stuff kind of look kind of nice. Like they look kind of cute. It looks like the foundation of a large structure. Like it does, of old structures, like old like keeps, castles, whatever. Like they often had like very large basements that were kind of like that, and then they had like a lot of pillars. And anyway, I am just going on an absolute tangent right now. Oh, look, we just got a new sheepy. Perfect. I have this absolute habit of I need to keep my building space clear. Like, I do not want my building space covered in trees. Like, trees, kindly fuck yourselves. Get out of my land. Like, we can have as many trees as humanly possible on the marsh floor, but on my land, I think not. That is my land, thank you. It is not going to be covered in trees. It's going to be covered in buildings eventually. That's just the colonist in me, apparently. But we are, let's see, what are we doing right now? I think I was trying to get more mallards because they're really cute, and I wanted to make sure I could keep breeding them because I don't think I was getting any males, only females. And we really gotta move our animals from that little pen. I just realized how fucking tiny that is. That is kind of sad. Oh no. They're in the tiniest little enclosure. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, we are getting extorted by Cataline. Oh my goodness, it's like me. I'm extorting us, guys. I'm extorting us, oh no. So we have, we're going to send, I think, Eric over here to talk to Cataline, and we're going to try and hopefully, I think this is the one where I might try and, like, buy her off. Because there's sometimes where I just do not feel like being attacked. Like, I'm in the middle of building. And other times where I'm just like, you know what? Bring it on, bitch. Like, look, there's so few people. Like, that's like 6 people coming after us. We can handle that. That is simple. See, we say no. There's no. We're not giving in. We're not giving in to their advances. I just saw another fox we need to go murder. But for now, we're going to have another raiding coming, which is nice. So we might get some more armor for our settlers, which would be fantastic. Because right now, they're really struggling on armor. They're really struggling. And eventually we're going to need helmets. Like, we're going to need shit to make sure our archers aren't getting biffed in the face and just being murdered in one shot. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Just clearly not yet. Now that we have a battle incoming, though, we are getting our settlers ready, making sure our range is equipped, making sure our archers are set. We switched Herefrith from the melee to being an archer, because I believe Ismana's melee was way better. So we ended up switching, and then I was trying to get them to switch shields, but then they don't like to like auto equip immediately once you remove something from a different settler. So she didn't want to go immediately pick up Hereford's shield for some reason. Anyway, that's just something I've noticed about going medieval pathing. They're coming in from, I think it's our south side at this point, like right towards us. We're getting all of our settler. Yeah, they are a ways away. When the enemy is a ways away, I have this problem where I will not set up my settlers until the last possible minute, because I'm like, they're busy, they're working, they're constructing things, don't bother them. Like, I don't want to waste their time, you know? Settlers have very, you know, they have very limited days, and I like to make them do a lot and try and get a lot done. And we're already on autumn of our first year, which is pretty far. So we've already done all of spring, all of summer, and we're into day 4 of autumn, and we're only on our second video. To be fair, I do leave a lot of building time in between, but you know, I know all of y'all don't want to see every second of that, because these videos are usually filmed over like 4 to 6 hours. And I know no one wants to sit here for 4 to 6 hours and just like watch the settlers go. So I do that in my own time, and I set these nice little videos up for you guys, which I hope you're liking. If you've actually gotten this far in the video, hi, hello. Drop me an emoji in the chat. I want you to drop me a peach emoji, just randomly. I just want to see a bunch of peaches if you've seen this part of the video, because I ramble a lot. I get it. This is probably a lot of rambling to listen to, but you're choosing to watch the video, I guess. So hi, how are you doing? It's just me and you now, because you know, most people have clicked off by now. So that one person who stays here to listen and watch, hello, I appreciate you. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic fucking day, because you deserve it. You really do. All right, we're into nighttime now, and we're setting up our first fermenting station. We're fucking around with our food stations again. As you can see, I have all of my shelving set up kind of nicely. We're moving some the carcasses inside, because I really hate when you have a bunch of carcasses and then animals keep coming and picking at them. It's really annoying. Even though no wild animals should be able to get up where we are right now, it's is it a trauma thing at this point? I've had so many foxes and wolves just stealing from my food stores. You know what? It probably is. Probably is. That's a joke, of course, because this is a game and it's not that serious. Alright, well, let's see. We have some more armor now, or we should, now that we've fought off some bad guys. There's a lot going on in this episode. We've had, like, Adrian's almost died, we've gotten attacked already, we're, like, partway through building our nice little great hall, we're having a great time, we're moving, we're surviving, barely. No, we're actually doing fine right now. We're surviving greatly. And now that the first, like, the bottom floor is, like, being worked on truly, I did decide to switch up a little bit of the front, because I wanted to make like a double roof kind of thing. Like, I wanted to, this was the point where I started to finally start thinking about the roofing, like, how do I want to do this? So I had to actually, like, change up some of the front and make sure we had the proper support for it, because as I mentioned before, you actually need proper support in this game. This is not Minecraft. You actually need usually there's stability levels, so usually I try and maintain stability 4 as long as I can, and once I get to everything is stability 3, I will not build much higher. Like, I will go to stability 2 at the max, and like after I will be like the roof. Like, I do not want the rest of the building, like, just in case I ever want to go make it bigger, because I have done that before, where I will build a whole ass castle and then I decide, you know what, it's not big enough. Let's make it like 4 times bigger. It's happened. It's happening. I've done it. Oh, we have a new settler, Herberga. She's an excellent smith. She has some culinary, some carpentry. She's okay. She's okay. We're gonna have to fight a bunch of raiders again for her, but you know what? We could use another settler, Herberga. Come on in, milady. Herberga. Yeah, it's Herberga. What an interesting name. Let's see. I was gonna say, we don't have a lot of room left in here anymore. I don't know where she's gonna sleep. We really need to start building that, the upstairs bedroom soon. We might do that this episode, because it's just, we're running out of room in the downstairs, and I need the downstairs to stay a work area at this point. So this is when we go and we decide to add the upstairs. I had planned to add an upstairs the whole time, which is why I never put the merlons around the whole outside of the structure. Which I don't think I mentioned that in the last video, but now you know. So we are building the second floor. This is mostly just a bedroom, and then I believe we put like a little bit of activities in here, and it's a little longer to get to just because they have to climb up the stairs to get to it, but it's still worth it. Still worth it. And I'm editing. I love that you can actually fuck with the roof and make it kind of interesting and different. So we're turning our little building in here into like more of a, like, I want to say like a cabin right now, because before it was very basic, and now we're actually getting those like kind of cabin vibes, but like danger cabin, I guess, because we have all the merlons on there too. And I don't know about you, but I don't think most cabins have merlons, you know. They're not usually battle ready. Except for right now, because they are battle ready. One thing we always need to keep moving to is our research. I'm bad for forgetting to put more research on. Like, I'll do a certain amount of books and then I'll kind of just forget about it. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's fine, it's just going forever. But I'll forget that I actually need to like assign them to do things. Like, I'll have to give them like, oh, I only gave them to make 100 books before. I need to give them 100 again, and I just forget because I'm so focused on building. But it works out for the best. It's fine. We have, so we get a nice little bedroom here, and it is 9 ready. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 right now, so we'll have set for 9. We'll be able to add in other beds easily because we clearly have extra spaces there. I think I do eventually add them. But this way we'll actually have a bedroom for winter too, because I had also realized, wait, we need somewhere for them to sleep during winter that I can give them heat without putting heat right next to the food supply. Yeah, so this was just, it was the time. We're like mid-autumn. We needed to get the bedroom ready. As long as you have like a half decent bedroom for winter, I find you're usually golden. And honestly, it was also, I think, a good time to upgrade our chambers, like upgrade our settlers' beds and such too, because they start to get annoyed and they start to get all these really annoying debuffs, I find, if you don't do that. And like, listen, we're working with what we have, settlers. I'm sorry that you don't have a luxurious chamber, but we are currently working on our communal building, so you just will have to suffer. That's how I feel. up until I make them a bedchamber, honestly. And I still feel a little bit like that. Like, guys, we're working for the betterment of the whole team right now. Stop being so selfish. You don't need a luxury bed. Chill. But then I think about it, and like, if that was me, I would be like, why don't I have my own room? I hate being around 8 people constantly. This is crazy. Like, I would not like that. I am an introvert. I am a loner. Not a loner. I'm an introvert. I would not thrive. We would not thrive in this situation. However, our cute little building, thriving. Absolutely thriving. I think it looks really sweet now. It looks very adorable on the outside. We have our nice little roof. We have our nice little like Merlon spot there. So that's kind of like our emergency, like, we can fight from there if they get past the front door spot, basically. That's what that was intended to be this whole time, and we didn't have to use it. I still haven't had to use it once, and I'm recorded a few hours ahead of this now, but not as far as I was before. So we have not had that problem yet, but will we eventually? Probably, because we still don't have metal. And without metal, that means we can't make reinforced doors. And we're gonna need those eventually, or else we're gonna get absolutely destroyed by raiders. But in the meantime, we're building our cute little house, and I think it looks adorable. See, we're all set now. We have our 9 beds. We have our little entertainment, our backgammon tables. Like, we're thriving, we're living. We can destroy all these ugly ass little sleeping hay spots. We can here's the research thing I was talking about. Me just constantly forgetting to like cue research. I remembered. Oh my god, aren't you proud of me? Be proud of me. So we have this little table too, which I'm actually just realizing now. We just have the most dinky little table, and it does not fit in everybody anymore. It only fits 6 people. I don't think I just realized that. Oh my god, how long did I leave them with this dinky little table? A long fucking time, I think. Poor guys. You know what? They're fine. They're fine. They're thrive. See, Eric's happy. He's green. He's filled with joy. We're only providing joy, guys. Don't worry. We're fine. Me coping so hard. Oh my god. But you see how with our main structure, it is taking so long right now with our main structure to build. And it is because we did not have enough clay bricks ready. We simply did not have enough. I really should have made more bricks first, but again, I did not plan on making this big of a building. But I did it anyway. So I end up forcing some of my settlers to make clay bricks for me all the time now, because I'm like, guys, come on, you need to be making the clay bricks. We need to do this so we can build the building. Come on, you want to get your Great Hall done, don't you? So you don't have to live in the same little cabin for the rest of your lives. Sometimes I wonder if they realize that. Sometimes I wonder. Anyway, as we're getting to make us some more clay brickies here, we are going to be moving into a new build, which I actually forgot I did in this video, but I scrolled ahead a little bit because I was wondering what came next, and I figured it out, and it's actually pretty cute. You'll see here in like any second. It's like about to switch, but I really want to get like the clay brick building done. Like, I really do. It's gonna take so long that I needed to do something else in the meantime. And as you'll quickly see, what that something else is we're making somewhere for the animals finally. Yeah, no, I completely forgot that was this video. I thought that was a little later on, but no. I realized that the animals had literally no space. Like, so I like to do things aesthetically, and even though I might not end up keeping this here, I decided, you know what? We're gonna build it anyway. We're gonna have a cute little barn for our animals, and that way they are not all just trapped in like a 4x4 square pen, like walking all over each other. You know what I mean. Like they're not doing well, and so I wanted to make them their own little building. And then I figured this would also just clear up the area a bit, make it look a little nicer. Like, that'll be cute. I like how the extortionists come through, and I'm just like, no, we're building a barn right now. Extortionists, we're building a barn. Get out of here. This time, I think I completely ignored the negotiator this time. Honestly, as I should, because am I the only person who, when I'm playing this game, if I decide I don't want to negotiate, like if I just want to say no anyway, half the time, I just won't go over there. I'll just leave the extortionists to like sit on their little landmass somewhere, and I'll just go about my business. Cause like eventually they'll show up and they'll be a nuisance, but like they're not showing up yet, and I got stuff to do. Like, we got barns to build, we got great halls to build, we have hay to collect, apparently. I believe we're collecting a bunch of hay right now because I realized I had none. So, or like very low amounts. And I was like, oh shit, we should go collect more of this. Especially because we're about to get to winter. And in winter, I'm not sure if all the hay supplies disappear like everywhere around the map. Not like our actual stores of hay, but like the reeds and stuff on the marshlands that you can actually get hay from. I'm pretty sure they go away during winter. So I was like, okay, no, we have like a few days till winter. We need to get going. It's like, we got 5 days till winter. Let's go. Let's prepare. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be ready for winter. Don't worry, our first winter will not be hell. I hope. I don't know yet, actually, but hopefully it's not hell. We are gonna get ready with our ice making, though, I think, here, because I love having ice made throughout the winter, and then I can have it just in my cold storage for the whole rest of the year. And usually by the next winter it's mostly gone, but it's very helpful during spring and summer at least. And we're finishing up our cute little barn here. I did just make it in wood because we have quite a lot of wood on this map, and I wanted most of the houses to be made out of clay bricks, so I like to kind of differentiate sometimes what types of material I'll use for which kinds of buildings, and that way at first glance I can always tell what something is. So like the quote like home areas this game are gonna be mostly clay bricks, whereas in my last save that I was just doing by myself, I am very far in it, and I have all the main buildings, like the main buildings with like the castle and stuff. All of those are strictly stone. The roofs are strictly stone. But then I have my, like, the houses. All the houses have clay brick tops specifically, because at a first glance I can be like, okay, this is a house. And then all of the animal buildings, like the barns and stuff, they usually have wood tops. In that way, I know at first glance that's where animals are kept, or that's where I have extra gardening supplies, or whatever, you know? And I don't know, I'm a visual person, so I like to make things more easy for myself. And it looks like the raiders have arrived. We're not done our house yet, our barn. We need to chill. Well, we got a few hours until they're actually here, but they're approaching. So this is the time we go through. Oh yeah, I realized Herberga, like, I didn't give her a weapon yet. I don't think I've fucked with her schedule yet. This is one of those games where I've been so distracted doing so many other things. I've been building and, you know, doing whatever. So I did not pay attention to my settlers. Oopsie daisy. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. I was trying to get them to finish up this building, but they were doing everything but what I wanted them to do at this point. Up to the point where the fucking incursion just came in and the raiders appeared. It was like, alright guys, that's a little bad timing. we were trying to build a barn, and now I think my settlers are just all over the map at this point, because they're all just trying to like collect resources and get stuff for construction. So they're everywhere. Like, you'll see oh my god, he's so far away on that little island. Like, that's what I mean. Like, he is right in front of the raiders. Like, he will just make it back safely. Well, see, this is why I put like a few archers on the hill, though. See, we put some archers on the hill, then we'll get him to safety, get everyone in safe bounds, and then we can just range down the enemy like we're doing here. Range is so overpowered in this game, it's not even funny. The only thing I find is good against range is the trebuchets, and they're not particularly, I mean, they wouldn't specifically be good against range attacks. It's just they're the most annoying attacks at this point in the game when I have range, because they can go and damage all my buildings. And we're working hard on our buildings. We don't want them to be destroyed, guys. Though that's definitely gonna happen, because every raid with trebuchets ends up breaking shit. Luckily, I don't think it did this time, but yeah, I don't think it did this time, but I think that's because we killed them pretty quickly. We killed them pretty quick, and I like to go in and I like to select all the bodies individually, because I hate when settlers get the debuffs for seeing dead bodies. So what I'll do is I'll try and get it all out of the way at once, so I'll take them all to where they're going to be cremated. Except I think I made a mistake here. I put that area within like the area everyone is running between the entrance and the main building where they all sleep. So they're automatically running past dead bodies constantly. When we have dead bodies in the pile, of course, but still, it was a design flaw. Let's just put it that way. I think I realized that eventually, but not yet. Not yet. It is a design flaw for now. And again, me removing trees, because I hate when trees are in like my line of sight when I'm trying to battle people. So I usually will try and keep all the trees like cut down around my keep or my castle or whatever. And in this case, I guess we're keeping it all down around the island. Like, I want the island to just be like its own castle, and it needs to be protected. See, the only thing the trebuchets I think damaged this time was the fence, and like, I don't care, raiders, you can destroy my fences any day. Like, that's except not when there's animals in there, because then that's annoying. But they can destroy the fences. It's just sticks. It's fine. We can rebuild that. The annoying thing is when raiders come and destroy your stone buildings and your clay buildings, or even your just regular wooden buildings, because then you have to rebuild it, and that takes time. But the sticks, yeah, the sticks are easy. It's just the materials for everything else that's not. Also, this is when I realized I did the 3 windows to do the fancy windows, and then realized, oh yeah, we can't do that with the wooden window frames. Yeah, that was it was a sad moment. It was a very sad moment of realization, but we move, guys. Let's see. We are moving on to nighttime, and it is raining. We're a few days out from winter now. We are going to need to step it up. Our food reserves are doing okay. Like, they could definitely be better. They're definitely not great. They're like enough for like a few days, but besides that, we're gonna be struggling for food soon, so we're gonna need to pick up on that, as well as we're picking up on finishing our little barn and our animal buildings here. We're also trying to train this dog, because we really need animals to be hauling for us, because the more we have to make settlers haul, the less they're actually working. And you want your settlers to be working. I want these bitches to be doing what I tell them to. I don't want them to be running clay bricks across the entire map. I don't want them running across the entire map to take that one piece of wood. Like, that's not what we're here for. We are here to build and manage. So I need the dogs to be my haulers until we have ass. Donkeys, that kind of ass. We need at least a few, and they just, they can carry so much. It's so nice. It's so nice. But because if you notice right now, we have so much material just laying around the map, and it looks so bad. It's so messy. We don't stand it at all. We need dogs. We need an army to be just taking all of our stuff everywhere. We need it, guys. We need it. So I think we're definitely going to have to work on that soon. That's actually, I think, going to have to be our next big mission, is just train up some of our animals for hauling. Because the problem is we have a lot of water voles and we have a lot of mallards and I have a couple sheep, and none of those are good at hauling at all. We need either an ass or we need dogs. That's what we need. Like, you can do it with goats, but goats take so much longer to tame for some reason, I find. And they can't carry as much, so they're okay if that's all you have. But otherwise, meh. But you'll notice I place those ice makers down for winter. We're not winter yet, but we are only a few days away. So I am prepping right now. We are heavy prepping. We're not getting the beekeeping because we can't do that at all during winter. So that would be an absolute waste of our research right now. But luckily, I think Eric is still moving along. Like, he's still doing great on the research. We're going to get him to come buy some stuff from the merchant. I think we're still getting some seeds. We're getting barley. We're just getting basics right now. This is a very basic bitch merchant, but like, we cannot get a lot from him. We can't afford a lot. But what we want right now is we want to keep making sure we have enough seeds, we have a lot of food, and then I'm getting rid of a lot of like extra crap that I don't need, which is a lot of the time what I use merchants for. Is like, once we get into the grain and I'm like, okay, so we're over breaking even, we're giving them money at this point, I'm like, do I need all of these random flails, all of these random extra bows? I do not. So I will just sell them, because at this point I don't want to waste my settlers' time getting them to deconstruct everything for materials, because we don't really need the extra wood. And so instead we're just going to sell them just to clear up some inventory, essentially, which I end up doing a lot. And now we're switching everyone to winter apparel because, as I have, been talking about for the last 10 minutes, winter doth come. It's Game of Thrones time. Winter is coming. God, does anyone else miss that show? Like, if you have, there's probably no one really listening this far in the video. If you are, drop me some sort of winter emote, like a snowflake, just because I want to hear if anyone is listening to me ramble about Game of Thrones halfway into this video. Not even halfway, we're like almost on the video. If you've been around my channel for a long time, you know I am one of the world's biggest Game of Thrones fans. And I've never been more disappointed in a show's ending in my life. Ever been more disappointed. But does anyone else just miss it? I miss it being a phenomenon. I miss everyone watching Game of Thrones every Sunday night and then talking about it all week. Like, I miss reacting and reviewing the videos and like rewatching the episodes 3 times just so I could get like a good review of the video for everybody. Like, I was so hyper focused into that show. It was one of my biggest fixations. I miss it. God damn it, Dumb and Dumber. You really had to fuck up one of my favorite shows of all time. You really did. Anyway, we're just getting sad now. We're gonna go back to the game. I'm so sorry. So, let's see. What are we up to now? I'm not gonna lie. I went on a whole tangent, was not paying attention to the game at all. Oh my god, we're almost on the burn. We're almost done. It's looking so cute. And I'm putting up some extra fodder up there. Usually that's what I do, is I'll put the extra hay and fodder just in the barn, because then if your settlers aren't refilling their troughs fast enough, they can just walk upstairs and eat. It's great. It's a fucking hack, practically. It's not, but it works out really well. Like, you actually technically don't need troughs. You can just leave little piles of hay everywhere. Like, you actually can, and they will eat from them. But I mean, it's not entirely recommended, I would say. Anyway, this is when we're going to start moving our animals over. God, the mallards were producing a lot of eggs, which is so good because I have such a hard time getting eggs late game. That's one of the big things, like, you need for making paintings. And it's one of those things I never have unless I have focused at some point during my game at getting chickens. But no chickens, so we're gonna be getting mallards, which honestly I like because I just think the mallards are adorable. I think they're way cuter than the chickens, so I'm glad they're gonna be feeding us eggies. And we're probably making stuffed eggs and stuff too right now. But we're moving all of our animals over to their new home, even though their troughs aren't built yet, but it's fine, we move. And I think that's because we ran out of, I think we did run out of wood at this point, which is crazy considering the amount of trees I've been cutting down. But we're also putting in our safety measures, our braziers, and putting some lights down, because even though we might not have any foxes up here, I'm just generally concerned about foxes spawning up here, because I think they can still spawn up here. I'm fairly certain they can still spawn on our island, so I am still taking the remaining precautions for foxes, which is making sure I have safety areas, and safety areas we have to create with the braziers and with the torches, and I don't think I even have it safe enough, honestly. Like, if I was more sure that they were not safe, I would have done more, but like, I was pretty sure they were relatively safe enough to be like, so basically, so I didn't have to have every inch of the pen like in that safety zone, you know what I mean? Because the braziers and the torches only have a certain radius of safety, so like, I wasn't being super keen on paying attention to what that radius was, and just because it didn't feel like it matters as much, because I'm pretty sure they're safe up there, I'm just not entirely sure. So it's fine is what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, it's fine. Trying to decide what to get next. It was really hard to decide because I really like getting more of the furniture, because as you get more furniture, you get better organization. So I always like to get the furniture, but I also was like, we're gonna need the cooking station soon, just for our big building. We don't have it yet though, but we will get it fairly soon. Going into our next day, it is autumn day 12. So we are so close to winter at this point. We are fucking winter day 1 suddenly. Because I did a time skip. So now that it is winter day 1, holy shit, we need to make sure we have our shit together. We need to make sure we have all of the food. We need to make sure we have enough winter clothing. But what are we doing instead? Getting more clay bricks. You guessed it. Oh, I really want my clay bricks though. Like, I really want them. We're getting all these clay bricks because, you know, we need them for our building, and we had run out of clay at this point. But holy shit, our first dog is finally trained. Oh my god, at last. So that means we have at least 1 hauler, which should massively reduce the amount of hauling that the settlers are doing. It should, theoretically. However, there's not a whole herd of dogs yet, so it's not going to be great, but it's going to be manageable. But anyway, how do you like our little barn? Isn't it cute? It's all nice and finished. We have our top floor for our fodder, our bottom floor for our little pets. Well, our farm animals, but they're basically our pets, you know. They're cute. They're cute. We love them. Fixing up the stairs because I really like when everything's like nice and perfect like that. It just looks so crisp with those nice floor detailings. So, see, they have a nice little downstairs, so they have lots of space for when it's winter, and we can close the, well, it is winter, so we can close the windows, and they'll be nice and cozy in there, nice and warm. They'll have all the extra food they need upstairs, and then that also makes it a lot closer for the settlers who are refilling the troughs. They'll be like feet away versus being like super far away from the stores with them, since hay doesn't really decay unless it's outdoors, and it still decays really slowly outdoors, but as long as it's inside covered, it should be essentially fine. But we're making sure to get the clay, like I really wanted them to dig up as much clay as possible before snow hits, because once snow hits, they're going to start getting irritated and cold, and they won't want to be outside as much, which is so realistic if you think about it. Like, that's so realistic. But we are, yeah, I just wanted to pretty things up a little bit too, because it started to feel like we needed like some roads attached to each other, because I really like things to get nice and uniform and looking really cute, because it just makes the game nicer when everything looks really nice, in my opinion. So we destroyed our old pen for the animals too, so we got a bunch of extra sticks. I think we do stick some more clay brick making stations here down eventually, like even more. Like, I was telling you, I was not joking when I said there was going to be a lot of clay brick making stations. I'm not joking. Expanding our little ash pile too. I still clearly haven't realized yet that the bodies are too close to the settlers. I don't think I realized that for another long time either, because that is definitely not something I remember changing anytime soon. But we're getting some more progress done on our main building too, which is really nice. But this is when I decide that we are going to forbid the build. So what we did here is we forbid all of like the pieces that we needed build, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a bunch of clay bricks made first. And so once we have all of these clay bricks, then we'll probably start building again, and that way we'll get more done that way too. So doing some nice little time skips here. I hope you guys like those, because I like the seamless transition of just time passing, and they're digging up their clay. They're truly just, they're setting the foundation for our town to come, for the town of Wakefield, because let's keep in mind, this is going to be a full-ass town. I want this to be a town. Like, I get so tired of building just straight up, like, castles and stuff all the time. So I wanted to go for a town in this video, like, or this series of videos. I wanted to make a cute, quaint little town called Wakefield that is on top of the Marsh, you know, and it has like that's why I need to know, what are we doing on that extra piece of land? Seriously, ideas, hit me with them. Let's go so we can decide. We have another merchant in his house though right now, and it's actually you can tell it's a good merchant because they have a bunch of shit with them. They have a bunch of people. There's just suddenly like 10 more settlers on my land chilling, even though they're not settlers. They're with the merchant. Y'all know what I mean. They're the posse that is with the merchant. So we want to get some more supplies from them. We probably want to kill more foxes so they won't kill our mallards, because I don't think we have a male mallard yet. No, we only have female. See, that's the problem, is you need to have both to actually be able to mate them, I guess, and like make more. But we haven't got a male one yet, and it's because the foxes keep spawning in and killing them all. Foxes are honestly, and polecats are so annoying in this game. Like, they really truly are. So I always end up having to kill a bunch of them, and I feel bad because foxes are so cute too. And honestly, so are polecats, because polecats are just like weasels. Like, they're all adorable. They're just adorable and fucking nuisances. But as you can see, we got like a whole nother portion of our clay built through, and now we're on to winter day 5. It is getting hella cold out. There is hella snow now, and so you see why I was trying to get ready for winter before the actual snow hit. So we should still be like, we're doing okay on food. We still could be better on food, frankly. I'm a little concerned about the food. I'm not gonna lie now that I look at it. But we're getting clay, and we're getting clay bricks, and we're doing fabulously. So as you can see, I cut out a portion there where what I was doing is I was trying to see how deep we could go. And then I realized, oh yeah, we're in a marsh. There's water down there. So that is as deep as we could go. And so once we hit the water, I was like, okay, that's all we can do for now. We're good. So we have a lot of, not a lot, but we have like a decent little group of clay bricks made now. So I did enable the build so they could start building again while more clay bricks are being made. We are definitely not going to finish this building this episode because we are almost done. I know, it's so sad. I'm so sorry, but look at how good our building looks at the end of winter. I did totally skip winter because we were building all winter, and I will have to see you in the next one because we are coming to the end of the video. Thank you for watching Wakefield Marsh Part 2. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.